So, it's time for me to address something that's really been bugging me for the past few days, and that's the ending of Man of Steel, where Superman basically has to snap Zod's neck to basically save all of humanity. And for the past few days, I keep going on Man of Steel, reviews and articles and stuff to hear what people like to think about the film, and I've realized that this film's caused a lot of debate, and I think that's a hallmark of a great film when it causes people to really question it, question the themes and stuff like that. Because I see some of the articles, especially here on Deadline, where people are just speculating. Did Zod want Clark to kill him because he had no purpose? Did Zod want to die and he just pushed Clark to the breaking point? Does Superman have a moral compass in this? And I think that when a film like that causes that much debate around what their characters want, about the themes, what they're feeling, I think that's the hallmark of a great film. That's just my opinion, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. But going through a lot of these comments, I see a lot of people complaining that Superman would never kill. They constantly say he could have just flown him away out of the station. Yes, he could have done that. He could have just lured him away from Metropolis. He could have done all these things. He could have taken the fight somewhere else. But here's the thing. I'm basically going to take all these arguments for why Superman shouldn't have killed Zod, and especially the biggest one where Superman always finds a way, which is bullshit. Alright, so the first argument everyone keeps saying is that Superman could have lured Zod away. This makes absolutely no sense, and they constantly use Superman 2 as a reference to this. Oh no, well, Superman lured Zod away in Superman 2, so he can do it here. But here's the thing, Zod wasn't interested in humans when he was attacking Superman in Superman 2, the Richard Donner version. He was interested in Superman, so if Superman went to Canada, Zod and his men would have followed him to Canada or something, and they were interested only in Superman. They didn't care about humans. In this film, Zod specifically at the end of the film wants to kill humans. He even tells Clark straight up, "You took my soul, you crushed it, you destroyed my very purpose in life, and now I'm going to murder these humans you've come to love and you've adopted as your own people. I'm going to make them suffer just to make you suffer. I'm going to kill them to make you suffer." And if Superman just tried to fly away or something to lure Zod away, Zod would have just laughed his ass off at Superman's stupidity, and he would have just stayed in Metropolis to kill people. A lot of people say, Superman didn't try to take the fight out of Metropolis. Seeing the film 3 times now, I can also tell you that's complete bullshit. After Zod throws Superman through about 10 buildings, Superman's floating in the sky, Zod comes crashing into him, and Clark actually manages to toss his ass out into space. He tries to take the fight out of the city, and then Zod, just brings it back into Metropolis because there's still a lot of humans there for him to kill. He even destroys Batman's satellite, to bring Superman down to Metropolis. So that's pretty much what would have happened, if Clark just lured Zod away into a cornfield, between New York or Chicago or something like I don't understand the geography of America, so I'm probably sure there isn't any cornfield between New York and Chicago, goddammit. So let's just say Superman tried to lure Zod took him to a cornfield to fight him, between Chicago and New York. And Zod just, killed Superman or knocked him out. Zod would just travel to either New York or Canada just to go kill more people. So that wouldn't work, because his objective now is to kill people. He isn't interested in Superman. Hell, he would actually be happy if Superman left him alone, because then he would just be able to kill humans willy-nilly without anyone being able to stop or interrupt him. And someone actually said, why didn't Superman just vertically fly him out of the station, which kind of makes sense to me, but that's only a short-term solution, because so what if he did take him out of the station? Then what? They would just keep fighting in the city and stuff. More people would die. And sure, it's a short-term solution for saving the family, but really, if Superman just took him outside of the station, they would just keep, fucking up the city, and more people would inevitably die, alright, you saved one family, but now that you're fighting in the city again, you're endangering untold thousands, maybe even millions of people now. Superman had to kill Zod in this movie. He had absolutely no choice. There was no way he couldn't lure him away. He couldn't take him away from the planet, because even if he took him to another galaxy, Zod would have just come back eventually to cause more problems, and more people would die, and it would be on Superman's head. He can't go send him into the Phantom Zone because there is no Phantom Drive anymore. He can't log Zod up in a human prison because Zod would just laugh his ass off at Superman's stupidity and just break out and start murdering people again. And one person at Deadline.com actually presented a cool thing where Zod was facing the family. He easily just could have activated his laser and fried them, but he deliberately slowly approaches them with the laser, giving Clark enough time to kill him. And people actually think that Zod is just doing this just to die. He's trying to force Clark to kill him because even though he's angry, he also has no purpose anymore. His people are gone. His whole purpose in life is destroyed. He's mentally broken and stuff, and that person actually stated that Zod deliberately shot the lasers slowly at the family just to force Clark to kill him because he had a death wish. Sure, it would bring him great pleasure to cause Kal-El a lot of suffering by killing the humans he's sworn to protect. But realistically, he saw that Clark had him in a perfect position, to basically kill him, and he forced Clark to do it because he kind of had a death wish himself. And I think that Superman did the right thing, and to destroy the last argument that really bothers me. Everyone constantly says Superman never does things in the way humans do. He always finds another way. Well, I'm going to direct you to Avatar: The Last Airbender, another show where the main character has a no-kill rule policy, and throughout the whole show he says, I'm going to take down the Fire Lord. And then in the finale, he basically says, I can't kill the Fire Lord Ozai. And then he basically finds this being that gives him the magical ability to take Fire Lord Ozai's abilities away, which was never referenced before. It was never explained, never. It just shows up out of nowhere just for the sake of giving Aang the ability to not kill the bad guy and still, keep his no-kill policy intact. If Superman found some sort of stupid Deus Ex Machina that let him send Zod into the Phantom Zone or some bullshit like that, I would have been more pissed off at the movie, and I think a lot of people would have been too, because people this movie's ending is a lose-lose situation. A lot of people are bitching about Zod killing Superman. Some of them. The only fair complaint, I think, about Zod killing Superman is that I don't think Superman would do that. I can understand. I can see that he had no choice, but I'm still not right with it. I don't feel right seeing Superman kill somebody. And when I hear someone recognize that Superman had no choice, but he still doesn't feel right with it, I can expect that. But when someone says stupid shit like, oh, you could have sent him into the Phantom Zone. How? He had no Phantom Drive. He didn't know anything about the Phantom Drive. Hell, there's no Kryptonian technology left on the entire planet. He has absolutely no way of luring Zod away or imprisoning him or some such bullshit. And I think that if Superman found some sort of Deus Ex Machina that conveniently let him take down Zod without killing him, I would have been pissed off, and I think a lot of people would be too, because then everyone would just be bitching about, oh, they just had some stupid Deus Ex Machina to automatically fix, what could have been this great situation and stuff. That's basically what I think about this whole Superman killing Zod thing. I think this film was at a lose-lose situation. People are bitching about him killing, but I can assure you that a lot of people the same amount of people would be bitching about the fact that they had to resort to using a stupid Deus Ex Machina to basically tie up all the loose plot threads and solve this dire situation. I think a lot of people would have as much a problem with that as they do with Zod killing Superman. I know I would. I hated the fact that Aang found this magical Deus Ex Machina thing that pretty much let him stop Ozai without killing him. I think that was just complete bullshit, and that ruined Avatar: The Last Airbender for me. And it would have probably ruined Man of Steel if the same was done here. So yes, I am fully fine with Superman killing Zod. He had absolutely no way of luring him away, dragging his ass away from the planet without him coming back. He couldn't imprison him in the Phantom Zone. He had to kill him. And if he tried to do that classic Superman bullshit, I'm not gonna kill, all of humanity would have been murdered eventually, or Zod would have killed Superman just because he was a big pain in his ass, and then he would have just went on to kill all of humanity. So yeah, that's what I think about this whole debate. I think it's absolutely stupid. A lot of the people who are bitching about this are trying to use the old Donner films without remembering all the stuff that happened in the film. And that just pisses me off. Like, get all the info on the situation, actually think about what happened in the film, and then decide whether or not you're okay with Superman killing Zod. But don't give me stupid bullshit like he could have sent him into the Phantom Zone, or he could have lured him away, or that he could have, I don't know, like, opened a portal with his magic portal opening device in his eyes or some such bullshit. Like, fuck that shit. Like, fuck that. See what's actually going on in the film, think about it, then give me a good argument for why Superman shouldn't have killed Zod. But as it stands, I see absolutely no other solution to this problem. I think even if Superman didn't kill him right then and there, he would have had to kill him eventually, because Zod would have eventually, murdered all of humanity. So yeah, that's what I think about this whole debate. I think it's completely stupid, and I think a lot of people are just using retarded arguments to say why Superman doesn't kill. If you personally are uncomfortable with the very idea of Superman killing and that just really bothers you, I can understand that. Even I was bothered by it at first. Like, I don't know if Superman would kill. But then when I thought about the circumstances and all of the other ways it could have ended, it really was like Zod said. Either Superman and humanity die, or Zod dies. There was no third option. There was no easy way out. One of them had to die, and it had to be Zod because he's the movie's bad guy. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this whole debate. I hope I gave some good arguments for why Superman had to kill Zod. If you have some good arguments for why he shouldn't have done it, and please don't make them some of the random stupid bullshit I'm reading online, and then feel free to give me those arguments. I love having a good debate, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.